Everything's fine, y'all. Everything's fine. Hi everyone, my name is Brittany from Brittany Loves Reading, and today I'm coming to you with some goals that I'd like to focus on for my 2024 reading year. I really sat down and kind of looked at what I would like my year to look like. I've never really done that too much before. I always pick my Goodreads goal of like how many books I want to read, but more in depthly than that, I've always just kind of seen where the year takes me. But this year, I'd like to kind of go at it a little bit differently. Let's start with the obvious one, the Goodreads goal. As of right now, I've read about 250 books this year, which is so much more than I have ever read before. It is more than double what I read this time last year. It's a lot more. So I'm not going to try to aim for this again. I am going to set my goal at 200. That was the same goal I set it for this year. I think that's doable just with the amount of readathons and things that I'm doing. Anything more than that, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't, and that's perfectly fine. I don't want to assume that I can beat this year, especially looking at the goals that I have outside of Goodreads. There is a few reasons this was one of my best reading years, and one of those was that this year was the year of romance reading for me. I was not a big romance reader prior to December of last year, and I fell down a rabbit hole of romance and have been in it most of the year. I have read other things, not just romance, but romance has definitely been my main genre of the year. And I've kind of just called this the year of romance because I've had a year really focusing on one specific genre. Obviously, the other half of my reads were other genres, but there's definitely a clear overall majority of romance. I've decided to kind of do that this year with a different genre that I'd like to kind of read some more of. And that is sci-fi. I have read sci-fi in the past. There's series that I really liked. To Sleep in a Sea of Stars, I really enjoyed. I read the first book in Red Rising. I'd really like to continue that. I would love to read Martha Wells series. Like, there's so much sci-fi I would like to read, and I want to do it this year. However, if you do have some recommendations for me, please let me know, and recommendations for any of the other goals that I'm going to be talking about, because I'm always looking for some recommendations. So I really think I will enjoy having a year of sci-fi. Obviously, it will not be the only thing that I'm reading, but I definitely want to focus on reading more sci-fi this year. I always want to read diversely and diversify my reading, but this year I want to focus on that really specifically by giving myself a numerical number per month that I make sure I read. And I want to read at least 3 diverse books every single month. With content creation, I don't always have control of the reads that I pick. So I thought 3 was a reasonable number to be a minimum. And then if I can do more than that, fantastic. For diversifying my reading, I want to focus on reading more BIPOC authors, Indigenous authors, more queer stories, and also even some translated works. I would love to add more translated works to my shelves and to my reading. One of the things I tried reading this year was manga. I've just dipped my toe in, but I'm having a great time, and I want to read more manga. This kind of ties into my last goal as well, so perfect. They kind of are friends. And I would like to try to read at least 1 manga every single month for the year. If I get more than that in, also excellent. That's kind of how I'm looking at these goals, is them being minimums. And then if I do more, it's a bonus. There's so many manga series I want to try. I have friends on BookTube who read a lot of manga and give me a lot of recommendations. So I will be diving into those recommendations. I have lists of series that I want to get to, and this year I'm going to get to a good portion of them. This next goal, you may look at me and think, Brittany, have you lost your mind? And maybe I have. I am not good at finishing series. I put 3 spaces on the Timmy's TBR board that have been helping me get through my series, but I need to do more because I am currently in the middle of 47 series.
47 series.
And I'm sure I will start some next year. I would love to say that I'm not going to start any more series, but again, with content creation, there's a little bit that is outside of my control. And then there's also the FOMO that can get me at any point in time and make me start something. So everything's fine, y'all. Everything's fine. Series continuations are hard to do as a content creator. It's hard to vlog a series continuation because there's not that much I can talk about. So I've decided to make it somewhat of a short form content going into next year and using YouTube Shorts and Reels to work through my series because I don't need to give a lot of thoughts in short form content. It can be bullet point. It can be, just a couple of things said, or just even B-roll of me reading the series. Hopefully that's something you are excited to watch as we go into next year. Hopefully, because it'll be coming. As with the other goals, I did want to have a numerical number that I was aiming for throughout the year of how many of my currently reading series do I need to finish. And crazily, I have decided to ask a number generator. So I put in the numbers 1 through 47 in a random number generator, and it generated 28 series, which is a lot. I'm a little bit concerned. I am worried. However, there are a lot of these series that I do only have to read 1 or 2 books. Some of them are much longer, but a lot of them can be done fairly quickly. So 28 series, can I finish 28 series next year? That might be a struggle, but we're going to give it a solid try and try to finish 28 series next year. And the last goal that I really want to work on is reading a series that has been sitting on my shelves for a very long time that I haven't started. This was kind of started on Sprints, the idea of starting this series as a read-along. So that's what we're going to do. It has been sitting on my shelf for a long time. I have more than 1 copy of some of the books because I'm gradually trying to get the vintage covers when I find them on thrift stores or used bookstores, etc. So for some of the books, I only have the more current covers because I haven't found the vintage covers yet. And for some of the books, I have both. I have not read the first book in this series yet, but next year we're doing a read along, and that is Wheel of Time. I need to read Wheel of Time. It's been sitting on my shelves for quite some time, and some of the books I have 2 copies. So for a series that I own so many books and it's taking up a lot of space on my shelves, I need to at least read it and make sure I actually like it. I'm pretty sure I'm going to. I'm not too concerned about that, but I still need to read it. On Sprints, someone noticed my vintage covers that I do have behind me and pointed it out, and we kind of discussed this exact point that I hadn't read the first book yet, and we decided to do a buddy read that turned into a read along, and the link to the read along will be in the description box below. We're doing it on the Fable app, which I knew nothing about until we started talking about this, but I actually have learned that I love the Fable app since I found it. Will we finish this series next year? Absolutely not, but we will put a big dent into it together. So that is the end of my reading goals for next year. I do have a lot of other goals around this channel and what's coming with this channel and content creation, but I'm going to keep that close to the vest right now, and you will have some announcements coming out as the year goes on for those things. I would love to know if any of my goals line up with some of yours, or if you have some other goals that maybe I didn't think of, but maybe I should add to my list. Let me know what your 2024 reading goals are down in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help my channel grow. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.